Take off your shirt, Kyle. Take it off and burn it. DarbyCast Wildcard Friday. Kyle's wearing an I Heart Christopher Columbus shirt. Are you kidding me, Kyle? It's Indigenous Peoples Day. Christopher Columbus? Rapist. Murderer. He was a bad guy. And you're just wearing an I Heart. Why do you think that all of the statues of Christopher Columbus were torn down, Kyle? Just because? No. We've moved on as a society, Kyle. Exploration is coded language for rape as it relates to European history of years past, Kyle. You should know that. Kyle, I went to a weekend seminar and I know a lot now. And I think it's time for you to get educated in a big way. Like, look at you. You're disgusting. You're problematic. I don't think you understand how much you're marginalizing people with a shirt like that. Do you understand? Kyle, it's shirts like that that prevent people from getting ahead in life. You just took a hot meal off of an indigenous person's table. Thanksgiving's on the horizon, Kyle. And right now, I'm not thankful for you at all. How much did that shirt cost, Kyle? Over $11.95, perhaps? You could have bought a 3-pack of dream catchers and maybe gambled at a casino, an indigenous casino. But instead, you had to make a statement about how much you love treating other people like garbage. At this weekend seminar, Kyle, I learned quite a bit about intersectionality, allyship, Kyle. The fact that you're living in a cis-normative privilege zone. When I see you, I realize that there's quite a bit to unpack as it relates to hegemony, Kyle. Tomato, you're blowing it. Structural inequality, Kyle. Accountability, where's yours? Kyle, if we don't have holidays for Indigenous people, who are we? I'm pretty Indigenous today, and I wish I could be more Indigenous. Because Indigenous people, as we know, Kyle, Native Americans, let me tell you about who they were. They knew the land. They used every part of the animal. They never did anything bad. They were always nice to each other, and they traded in hides and spiritual favors relating to the sky. And then your boy Columbus mucked it all up. Totally just blew up their spot. They were living peacefully. They always respected women. There was never misconduct that happened anywhere. Pre-stupid Columbus. Representation, Kyle. I don't know how more clearly I could say it. Everything European is stupid and evil, and it needs to be taken out, like yesterday. Don't put smallpox on that t-shirt and give it to somebody at an Indian casino, Kyle. I know you want to, because that's what Columbus was all about. You're erasing people from the cultural ledger, Kyle, and you're not coming off as very trauma-informed. I'm pretty trauma-informed myself, Kyle, because of this weekend seminar. It wasn't led by an Indigenous person. Her name was Harriet, but Harriet totally gets it. She's anti-oppression. She believes in environmental justice. Do you even know what that is, Kyle? Environmental justice. Coming at you hot. Indigenous people are born with environmental justice in their core. Whereas somebody like you, Kyle, you're an environmental blight. You're an environmental criminal and you hate birds. That's what Harriet said to me. People who like Columbus tend to hate birds and whales. Kyle, step up and be neurodivergent like I'm presenting. Stop othering people and let's disrupt the colonial mindset. This is us now, Kyle. Because you know me, it's important that I tell you about these things all the time. It's not just a wacky t-shirt, Kyle. You made a statement with that shirt that basically says you're pro-genocide. You're engaging in what I would like to call lateral violence, Kyle. Because it's in every direction. And I don't remember what else Harriet said about it. But your lateral violence is off the charts. Off the charts. Off the reservation. Which I respect. I respect reservations. Indian ones. Native American. I have to do better, Kyle, and so do you. Can you just decenter the European mindset for 2 seconds, Kyle? It's not just about creating safe spaces, it's about creating safer spaces. Burn that shirt. Burn that shirt. Burn that shirt. Harriet said that it's important to start chants sometimes, Kyle. Reclaim the space is something that we are doing right now for Indigenous people. Kyle, we're reclaiming the airwaves in the name of Brother Bear, Sister Sky, and Papa Aardvark. We can't just normalize your heteronormative, anti-equity seeking, inverted body autonomy, sovereignty, whiteness, fat phobia. Do you understand what I just said, Kyle? Go to college. If you don't, that's what's really going on. That's totally it. What are you going to do, Kyle? What are you going to do today to make up for what a bad guy you are with that shirt? Even if you weren't wearing that shirt, you are a bad guy, Kyle, because you're a beneficiary of a lot of European stuff overall. Can you just acknowledge something, Kyle? Take a second, acknowledge something, anything. Just acknowledge something worthy of acknowledgement. That's what Harriet said is one of the most important things, is just acknowledge away. If you don't, then you're on a dangerous path. I had so many things that I wanted to talk about today, Kyle, but very few of them were really Indigicentric. So they just don't matter today. Or maybe ever at all. Kyle, you need to understand that you're a bad guy. That's really what it boils down to. You're a bad guy. I'm one of the worst. Why don't we have an Indigenous Peoples week, month, year? Maybe every day should be Indigenous Peoples Day. Kyle, you got to stop what you're doing. We all do. To get indigified. Appreciate the indigenation. We need to give away Ireland to Indigenous people. Because the Irish, although maybe they're quote unquote indigenous to Ireland, I'm sick of it. Get out, Irish. I'm all for Indigenous people, unless they can get sunburned pretty easily. You know the rules, Kyle. Well, maybe you don't, and that's why I'm telling you. We need more Harriets putting on weekend seminars. I only had to pay $17,000 to go to this thing, to be educated. And look at how smart I sound now, Kyle. Look at how magnetic I am, likable. I can see that you want to be like me a lot. Because at the end of the day, Kyle, people appreciate being told what's really going on, being told that they have it all the way wrong and that they're pretty evil. People, when they realize that they're bad from constant coaching, then people tend to step up and they get pretty appreciative pretty quickly. We're so close to vanquishing everything Columbus stood for. But you're in the way, Kyle. You're in the way. I'm trying to uplift and liberate, Kyle. You are trying to destroy. You're trying to harm people with your shirt and just going about your life and not making your life all about Indigenous people. You're making an error. You're going to look back on this, Kyle, and it's going to be one of the most shameful days of your whole life. That's how everybody's supposed to feel on Columbus Day. So just tread lightly, Kyle. Just consider never saying anything about anything ever again. Maybe that's the correct position. Kyle, you've had your fun in the sun. It's time to just maybe off yourself. Maybe literally, maybe as a metaphor, but Kyle, I know you still own some Washington Redskins gear. I just want to throw that out there. Burn it. Burn that. Burn your Columbus shirt. Kyle, no matter what you do in life, you're wrong. You need to understand that. That's what Harriet impressed upon me, is that no matter what you do, what I do, you're always wrong. Anything that you think is okay isn't. Anything that you think needs to go away, we probably need more of, Kyle. You're wrong about everything. Look at the studies, Kyle. Look at the facts of the studies. If you looked at enough studies, Kyle, you'd probably be as smart as Harriet, and then you would be able to give coaching to lots of people. Wipe the smile off your face, because a smile for you is a stolen smile from somebody Indigenous. Kyle, we need to give the whole country back to Native Americans and let them run it. Our country that is riddled with substance abuse and gambling problems right now, Kyle, we need to turn it back over to the Native Americans, because that doesn't affect them. They don't have alcoholism, and their gambling stuff is on the level. Their casinos are legit. All of our gambling stuff, disgusting. Their gambling stuff, important. Kyle, one time I saw a video of a Native American drinking gasoline out of a gas pump. And in a lot of ways, that's your fault. As individuals, Kyle, we can all do better. Go up to somebody who's Indigenous, probably. Ask them if they want to have a wakatepe, a powwow. Surrender the whole country, Kyle. You could do it if you wanted to. You're the last guy holding us back from saying, okay, take all the land back. I remember a long time ago, Kyle, you told me something very stupid, very evil. You said that we didn't steal the land from the Native Americans and that we traded them land for horses and gunpowder, and that they didn't have any sense of what private land ownership was, and they thought, hey, you can't own the land. That just belongs to Mother Eagle. The Native Americans thought they made away like bandits with horses and gunpowder. And then the Europeans began building fences and walls. So exclusive, so evil. They began domesticating animals and refining raw materials into finished products. Yuck. That's what I have to say about that. Think about how much better off we would be, Kyle, if we didn't exist at all, you and I, if we were dead and the indigenous people were running point on everything. That's where we need to be, is dead and out of the picture. I remember you saying a long time ago, Kyle, that you liked roads and running water, sanitation, air conditioning, the internet. None of those things are morally correct. You can't like those things at all. You used to appreciate the combustion engine, even electric cars. You ready to rethink that position, Kyle? Because you should be. You like books, Kyle? Not anymore, you don't. You used to like airplanes as well. Too bad. Everything you love is trash, Kyle. From Christopher Columbus to Skittles. Bacon cheeseburgers are something that you might have thought were okay. Trains are out. Advanced mathematics also out. The microscope, the telescope, not okay. Kyle, you don't seem like you feel bad about anything. And that's just so disgusting. You need to feel bad. You have to. How could you not? Did you not pay attention at all in 7th grade social studies? Have you not gone to a weekend seminar and met an amazing woman like Harriet, Kyle? Because it just seems like you haven't. Seems like you forgot everything from the public education system as it relates to why you're trash. It seems to me, Kyle, like you've got some kind of appreciation for things that you're not allowed to appreciate. There's a lot going on in the world, Kyle, but we got to just take a time out. Take time out of your day and indigenate. Kyle, we have to trust that Harriet knows best. And she knows more about life than we ever will. This is not a fetish for primitive cultures, Kyle. It's not. It's healthy. It's one of the healthiest things around. You have to hate America. You have to hate Europe. And you have to understand that Americans and Europeans throughout history were always selfish rapists who spread diseases and wanted to kill everybody and treat everybody like garbage. That's world history 101. That's American history. That's world history. We can't stop, according to Harriet, until all of Western civilization is dismantled, destroyed. That's how we heal. That's how everybody wins. If Americans and Europeans lose, that's how everybody else wins. Because Americans and Europeans have never done anything good for the people of the world. You know it now. I learned about it last weekend. I had such backwards ideas about everything in general. Kyle, you need to send your kids to public schools and you need to go to more seminars. Forget about having your own interests, Kyle, because your interests have to be hating yourself and hating the culture in which you live. You could have a full-time job, I guess, but what's your calling, Kyle? Because you need to feel called to destroy everything all the time that's happened in this country since Christopher Columbus put his dirty colonizing feet on this land that didn't belong to him. I feel so good right now. Kyle, don't you feel better about yourself? Kyle, you can't just be a cultural thug your whole life in a gang of oppressive history. It's time to let it all go. Let it all expire. As we fight for survival as a country right now, Kyle, just cut it out. Just stop. Pack up shop. Hate everything that you were supposed to and give up. Hate the past. Never move forward. That's the name of the game for you, Kyle. And if you don't do that, we're going to hurt you. Go be Indigenous. If you're listening to this, go be Indigenous today. Just do whatever it takes. If you enjoy anything that you're not supposed to, stop yourself. If you see somebody enjoying something that you don't find particularly okay by Harriet standards or something you maybe read online, you have to confront them. You have to confront people all the time until they eventually say, what was I thinking? I'm a bad person. You're totally right. And you seem like you have my best interest at heart by encouraging me to hate myself and my ancestors and also believe that I'm not worthy of a future. That's what people will say to you once you checkmate them out of whatever reality they've been living in by constantly giving them pointers, tips, and tricks. Kyle, maybe you get a job with Harriet. Maybe you go around and start coaching people. Maybe you go to some universities and up everybody's game. Redistribute academia in some sort of powerful way. Retool everybody's sense of what it means to be dynamic. Give it a go, Kyle. Give it a shot. But I think we're going to wrap on this. That's DarbyCast. That's Wildcard Friday. Kyle, you are such a bad guy. If I ever catch you wearing a shirt like that again, I heart Columbus. You're fired, and I'm going to incite a digital lynch mob to take you out. Okay? Good. That's DarbyCast, Wildcard Friday.